Howdy folks. Well, I don't know if you guys remember these poor bedraggled sons of biscuits, but these are rocks from Huey, Dewey and Louie, our famous leaking trio of homemade rock tumbler barrels. And it's time to get them back in and see if I can fix them. I took some time, did a little checking, and some of this is just basically guesswork on my part also, but I kind of triaged them into, I think they'll clean up in 120, 220 grit. I think they'll be okay just going on to stage 3 or going into stage 3. These are the ones that I think are actually ready to do, or they just need to be repolished, including, this was kind of surprising, but this guy right here actually doesn't look all that bad. I mean, it's got a pretty good shine on it. No damage. The white stuff doesn't have quite as good of a shine, but I think that's basically because of material difference. I think this is some kind of jasper and something. But anyway, that was actually a pleasant surprise, because I can even see in the viewfinder you can see some of the the glare off of it. I am going to go ahead and run this again in a load of polish in an actual good barrel that doesn't leak to see if we can get it a little nicer. And I had a few that these basically, for a few different reasons, I think need to go right back to stage 1 and start over from scratch. But the vast majority, in fact, I've got this, I believe, loaded properly, and I had this many left over, and I just decided, rather than overloading the barrel, I was just going to do it about to where I thought the line would be for a proper 2/3, 3/4 load, and we're going to see what happens. Some of these, let me think how to phrase this. There are going to be some that'll come out that are probably not going to ever be perfect. Some of the decisions were made on these based on the size, and like 85% of the rock was in pretty good shape, and then there was one kind of rough corner, and if that rough corner never is perfect, I will accept that. You know, just like I said, I don't want to wear them away to nothing. I feel I owe them better than that. So, and this looks terrible, but it's actually not rough. And then there's a couple that are, there's some texture to it. I mean, you can actually feel some roughness. Again, if it doesn't all come out, if the rest of the rock looks good, that's we'll put that up on the board as well. You'll know better next time. So let me get this loaded with some 120, 220, and I'll be right back. Alright, I went ahead and loaded 3 tablespoons of the 120, 220, and I didn't put quite as much water in there as I have been in past tumbles. I'm seeing more and more people are using scant amounts of water compared to a lot of the directions. Like I said, it's like cover the rocks completely. Well, then I see guys and gals that I know what they're doing, because I've seen their results, and a lot of them don't do that. So I don't know if that's just a preference thing or pro tip or what. Take it for what it's worth. We're going to uncork the redo rocks that have been rolling in stage 2 120 220 grit silicon carbide here. These are the rocks from Huey, Dewey and Louie that I boogered up and I'm now trying to fix. So I let them go for 5 days, and I'm hoping I guessed right, and stage 2 was the right answer rather than taking them all the way back to the start. But let's find out together. Got the interior shot for you. Let's dump them out and see what we got to look at here. Whoopsie, first day on the job again. I didn't have my water ready. So these have all been rinsed a little bit already, but thus, oops, sorry, didn't mean to kick you guys. I'll have to dry these off and give them a thorough inspection. So far, it feels like the... Boy, it sure feels like the edges have smoothed off again. Oh, this, okay. I don't know if that'll show up or not. This is what I think this is a piece of what I got from the rock shed called Girasol Opal. Hopefully it'll, if all those internal facets, at least I'm pretty sure that's Girasol Opal. But there you go, you can kind of see that it's a clear flash, but it's a flash nonetheless. So, but yeah, it feels like all the edges, because a lot of these edges were just rougher than a cob, have smoothed back off again. So let me give them a good thorough inspection and I'll be right back with you. Alrighty folks, I looked them over real good. I've still got a few issues from some of the cracking, but that's not going to come out in stage 1 or stage 2 or whatever stage. Basically some of those, in order to fix them correctly, they need to be ground. Well, I'm not going to do that. So I have thoroughly washed and rinsed the rocks and the media. I added, well, unfortunately I don't think I could get the rest of these in there, but these rocks were, I believe, ready for stage 3, and I've added a little borax into this, 20 Mule Team borax, and I'm going to let it run for a couple hours and give it a good, this is supposed to really wash the rocks and the media and the barrel and get in all the cracks and crevices that there may be some stage 2 grit hiding in, and then we'll be on to stage 3 with these guys. Alrighty folks, well, I was going to run these for a couple hours in the borax. Well, stuff happened and it ended up going overnight, so it's probably, oh, I don't know, probably about 3 hours shy of 24. I don't think extra will hurt anything. Got some good quality foam, that's for sure. Didn't really look all that gunky coming out. Water didn't look too bad. So I get these rinsed off and then I'm going to get them prepped for stage 3. Alrighty folks, I got it loaded back up. I kind of gave the rocks good thorough inspection, and yeah, again, not perfect, but seems pretty uniform. So I went ahead and loaded it back up, and I ended up taking out a couple rocks because it was looking a little full, but I don't know, that might be a little short, can't tell. Let me know in the comments. Like I said, I mean, I think it's right in the ballpark, hopefully, but let me get this button back up and we'll get her spinning again. Alrighty folks, these are the rocks from Huey, Dewey and Louie that we're going back through for the second go around. Embarrassingly, continuity is hard. I can't remember if these have been going for 5 or 7 days. Didn't review the film, so oops on my part, but one of the two, they've been rolling for either 5 or 7. And the other thing, can you guys let me know, are the big tumblers too loud for you? Let me know in the comments. But let's see what we got to work with here. Ooh, very foamy. A lot of foam. I think that's good. Foam is good. Alrighty folks, these lovelies have been tumbling overnight in borax to clean them and the ceramic media really good. This one I've dried off. You can see it's already got a bit of a shine to it. It's a soft shine. You can also, if I can get it to move just right, which is always hard with this, There we go. Yep. I keep getting glare before I get the full flash effect, but I just think these are cool looking. And again, you know, this is not going to be a perfect rock. Got a couple little fractures there that are kind of on the surface. There's a little spot there, but overall, I would say this is ready, and its brethren and sisterin are ready to go into the polish stage once again, and we'll see what we come out with this time. So let me get this loaded up and I'll be right back with you. Alrighty folks, there it goes on its next round. I forgot to mention the preceding segment, I think. That is Rock Shed aluminum oxide polish. I still need to check and see what actual grit or mesh size that is, but hopefully when we open these up it'll be more shine than listening to me whine this time. Alrighty folks, today's the big day. This barrel contains redo rocks from Huey, Dewey and Louie that have just completed 7 days in the polish phase of this hobby. Hopefully this time we have more shine than wine, but I'd be a little bit, I'm going to be honest, I'm a little nervous about what I'm going to see in here. So everybody do me a favor, retrograde, cross your fingers that this came out well, please. Backdate your prayers and thoughts and hope for a good outcome here. Alright, bugger. Come on. There we go. Well, we definitely got foam. Let's see if we got any shine to go with the foam. Well, folks, here are the results from the first batch of rerun rocks from Huey, Dewey, and Louie, the poor, banged up, misbegotten little rock babies. And boy, I don't know. I thought I had a handle on this hobby, and I'm not really sure what happened, but oh wait, they actually don't look too bad. Sorry about that. I think my dermatositis is flared up. So, actually, I've stated in this video the whole time that I knew these weren't ever going to be perfect, but I think, given what I'm seeing, look at that, you can't even see the rock for the glare. I think these came out pretty darn good. I need some confirmation from my rock knowledgeable folks, and I mean brutally honest. Does this shine pass muster? And by that I mean obviously that part does not pass muster because of the cracking, and that end is kind of ugly. But again, had I rerun these to the point where all that was gone, there wouldn't be any rock left, I don't think, or not enough to warrant going through the process. Something like this, you know, obviously that big crack the stone would look a lot better. What I'm asking is, does that shine pass muster? Is that good enough? And when I say brutally honest, obviously be nice about it, but don't pull the whole dad with the art class coffee mug and saving the child's feelings, because it won't be helpful. But I mean, you know, there's my shop light. Well, let's see if I can get it to, I had it so you could actually see the, maybe it wasn't that rock. You could actually see it kind of clearly. Now I can't find it. Oh, there we go. I mean, you can clearly, at least I can, you can see the 4 tubes, and then that little bright spot kind of next to it right there is a auxiliary light that I've got going to add, well, obviously to add more light. But again, does this, and these have not been burnished, and that's the other question I have. Would these perk up even more if I ran them through a burnish stage with either ivory soap and or borax, please let me know in the comment or the chat. Look at the, oh shoot, there it is, look at that shimmer, guys and girls, dudes and dudettes. There we go. Isn't that neater than neat? Holy smokes, look at that. This is one of the, I believe this is Girasol Opal. I'm no expert, but yeah, so again, stuff like this, yeah, I probably could have run this back through. Some of these I probably could have run them and they wouldn't have shriveled up too much, but I kind of needed to get some of these done. I needed, even if it's an impaired win, I sort of needed a win, if you understand where I'm coming from. The last few videos have not been really, oh, I don't know. You know what I'm saying. You want to make a nice process or a product and have stuff look good, and like I said, I just kind of needed the win on this one, so I figured mostly good with a nice shine was going to be about the best these were going to get, and I hope I've gotten that. Like I said, please let me know in the comments down below or the chat by the side. And again, let me know about the if you think they'd benefit from a burnish stage. Which, oh yeah. This one, now I don't know, some of that white could be a little polish stuck in there, but now that they're dry too, is even in a burnish stage, is that even going to come out? And that's the other question. Does anybody know what the heck this stuff is? I'm trying to get it so it's not glaring enough so you can see the detail on it, but I don't know if I got any more of it. It's really pretty, and I'm really bummed out that I cracked the living you-know-what out of it, but it's still pretty. It's just, it's impaired. It's an impaired proof, maybe. Or good for, I don't know. You tell me. There's that shop blade again. So, yeah, I guess that's it. I'm not going to drag this out too much more. Like I said, these seem, to my eyes, have a pretty darn good shine on them. I'm not bragging by any stretch, but I'm not hanging my head in shame either. So, and I am pretty harsh self-critic. So, yeah, I think they came out, again, for what happened to them, I think they came out pretty good. I'm still amazed that that little pointy finger made it through all those stages. I was sure that thing was going to snap off at some point and be a part of history. But it stuck with it, so yeah. Where's that other? Here's the other piece of tiger's eye. That's just neat how that chimoyance or shimmers or whatever they call this stuff. Whatever the proper phrase is. So, thank you guys for sticking with me again through my trials, tribulations, and foibles. It means the world to me, and I appreciate it. Yeah, let me know in the comments, like I said, whether you think that shine would be acceptable, and whether these might benefit from a burnishing stage, and what your personal preference is with burnishing. I've got both ivory soap and borax. That seems to be the top two contenders anyway. So other than that, I think this is going to be a wrap for now. If I do a burnish, I'll obviously just post a short video on the results of that, but I do appreciate everybody, and thank you for watching.